Hello everyone and welcome back to Milo Farms. Well, today we are out in the 2009 Smart for 2 model 451. This is the one that has the spots on it to look like a cow that's been in the previous videos. But today we're going to be taking a look at this issue with the radio. And the radio part works just fine, but what the issue is with this volume knob. And often with this particular radio, this volume knob gets kind of weird and sticky on the surface, but what the issue is that we're having that I'm more concerned with is the volume control is not working. So let's see if I can get this to do it. Can't get the volume to go up. Won't go up. Now I can't get it to go down. Now it's down again. So as you can see, it's just temperamental. The volume control knob is not following what I'm doing with the knob. And the bigger problem is when it's cold, in particular outside in the cold weather, you cannot get the volume down. It'll just zoom up to 100% and stay at that point. So my plan is probably going to have to replace this radio, but my goal today is to make an attempt to see if I can fix it or head it off for a little while with the having to replace it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take the radio out. This happens to be a double unit here. They make single ones as well, but we're going to take the unit out and we're going to dismantle it and see if we can get to the volume knob, and then see if there's a way that we can try to clean the sensor or whatever it is on there. In the old days you'd have like a rheostat, but this one does not have a starting and stopping point, so this seems to be some sort of a counter or something maybe that counts how many clicks it goes by or something like that. So we're going to see if we can take it apart and clean it, and if we destroy the radio, then we're just going to get a new one anyway. So let's go ahead and start with taking this apart. This is the early model, so it's a little bit different shape than the later model. But first thing we're going to do is pop out this control right here, and do that by just prying lightly behind it on both sides. I'll set the camera down and do that. Now that we've got that popped out, you can see this torque screw right here. We're going to go ahead and take that torque screw out. That torque screw's out, so now we're going to go ahead and try to lift up this panel up here, and then the whole thing should rock back towards the back of the car. So we've got it released, and we'll go ahead and pull it back, and then jiggle it, and it'll come right off. Now we're going to locate these 4 screws, one here, and then over here, and down there. Loosen those and try to pull the radio out. Now that those 4 bolts are out, go ahead and just pull the radio back and the whole thing will come out. There's what it looks like behind the radio. Go ahead and unplug all those wires and we'll take this over to the bench. Alright, so with this on the bench, you're going to have to excuse my neighbor and his excavator and his other tools that's happening outside. But with this thing on the bench, you've got 4 Torx head screws around the outside. We're going to go ahead and take those loose and try to pop off this front faceplate. Okay, once you pop that off, now you need to go ahead and remove this ribbon right here, release that. Now that we've got it to this point, we're going to go ahead and take the 12 little tiny Torx head screws off around the perimeter and in the field here. So I got all the screws out, and you want to kind of support this up off the workbench while you're doing the last screws because it will start to push the buttons out. So then, keeping it face down, you want to go ahead and lift the circuit board off, and that should expose the buttons and they will be loose. And there's the radio with the circuit board taken out. So there it is, and there's our problematic knob. At this point you can go ahead and pull the knob off and expose the switch or the dial underneath. You can also pop off this little plastic piece. So at this point, there is the little dial that's causing the problem. Took this over and got it cleaned up with some contact cleaner. What I found is you could spray the contact cleaner right in that little crack right there at the side, and it would shoot out that other crack over there, and then you could flip it around and do the same thing the other way. So I did that and washed it out both directions as best I could, twisted it, wiggled it, did everything I could do, and then I was able to use some canned air and blow it out with canned air. I let it dry for a little bit, and now we're going to go ahead and put it back together. Okay, here's the stereo back in the car, and I've got it just temporarily plugged in to see if this is going to work. The antenna's not plugged in yet, and it's definitely not mounted. But here it is. You can see, starting at volume 1. It goes all the way up as you go up there, and it goes all the way back down without any issues. So it's working for now. We'll go ahead and put the antenna back on and get the radio mounted back in its hole, and we'll give it a test drive. We'll see if it works for a few weeks, and then we should be able to consider that repair complete. At some point I do want to take this knob back apart and fix that up, make it look nice if this actually works in the long term. If not, we'll replace it with a aftermarket stereo, but I'd rather try this the way it is for now and see what happens. So hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hopefully this was helpful, and remember, you can't finish a project without getting started.